Imagine a moment frozen in time, a radiant young woman stepping into the spotlight of history, her every move watched by millions, her every smile igniting dreams of fairy tales come to life. On her wedding day, July 29, 1981, Lady Diana Spencer didn't just marry a prince, she became a global phenomenon, her grace and ethereal beauty weaving a spell over the world. At just 20 years old, this shy kindergarten teacher turned princess captivated hearts with an innocence that felt both timeless and enchanting, as if she'd stepped straight out of a storybook. The white silk gown, the sparkling tiara, the nervous glance toward Prince Charles, it was the beginning of a journey that would transform her into an icon, a figure whose elegance would redefine royalty forever. That's all. Like and subscribe to our channel, because you are our fuel for content, and share your opinion in the comments. Your opinion is very important to us. In the years that followed, Diana's star only shone brighter. She evolved into the most photographed woman on the planet, her face gracing magazine covers, newspapers, and television screens worldwide. Instantly recognizable, she carried an aura that transcended borders and cultures. Yet, beneath the glamour, she was a novice to the rigid world of royal protocol, thrust into a life she hadn't been groomed for. Her destiny intertwined with Prince Charles, the heir to the British throne, a man whose shadow loomed large over her early days as a princess. Despite her inexperience, Diana quickly found her footing, forging a connection with people everywhere. Within months of the royal wedding, she was charming crowds at home and abroad, her presence a breath of fresh air in the often stuffy realm of monarchy. On walkabouts with Charles, she wasn't just a figurehead, she was a sensation. Crowds roared with delight as she waved, her shy smile disarming even the most cynical onlookers. She brought a magic to royalty that hadn't been seen in generations, blending style, dignity, and an almost magnetic allure. Today, we're embarking on a dazzling journey through her most unforgettable jewelry, pieces that glittered as brightly as her spirit, and discovering who now holds these treasures from her extraordinary collection. First, let's talk about her engagement ring, a piece that sparked whispers and raised eyebrows when it debuted in 1981. Picture this, a stunning 12-carat Ceylon sapphire, deep and mesmerizing, encircled by 14 sparkling diamonds, all set in white gold. It broke from the tradition of the simple, solitary diamond rings favored by royals before her. But the real scandal? It wasn't bespoke. Unlike the meticulously crafted rings of other royals, like Prince Harry's 6-month labor of love for Meghan Markle, featuring a Botswana diamond flanked by 2 gems from Diana's own stash, this ring came straight from a Garrett catalog. Anyone with £28,000 could have owned its twin, a fact that left royal watchers aghast. How could the future queen's ring be so accessible? Yet, Diana wore it with a quiet confidence, turning a point of contention into a symbol of her approachable charm. Before her life was cut short in that heartbreaking Paris car crash on August 31, 1997, Diana made sure her legacy endured through her sons, Princes William and Harry. Her jewelry collection, a trove of sentimental and sparkling treasures, was bequeathed to them. The engagement ring initially went to Harry, a poignant nod to his bond with his mother. But when William decided to propose to Catherine Middleton in 2010, Harry graciously handed it over. William, now the Duke of Cambridge, spoke of its significance with tender emotion. "This ring was my mother's, and it means the world to me, just as Kate does. Pairing them together felt like the perfect way to keep my mother close, to let her share in our joy and our future." Today, it graces Kate's hand, a living link to Diana's enduring presence. Next up is the Prince of Wales crest, a wedding gift from Charles that shimmered with meaning. This exquisite pendant featured a 3-feather design symbolizing the Prince of Wales, encrusted with diamonds and set in gleaming gold. Diana adored it, wearing it often as a quiet tribute to her husband in happier times. She later added her own flair, attaching an emerald drop that matched a pair of emerald earrings Charles had gifted her. These pieces, steeped in personal history, now belong to Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall, Charles's second wife, a bittersweet twist in their tale. Ranking 8th is the Swan Lake necklace, a piece as haunting as it is beautiful. In June 1997, Diana attended a royal gala performance of Swan Lake at London's Royal Albert Hall, the necklace glinting around her neck. Borrowed from Garrett, it boasted diamonds and lustrous South Sea pearls, a design she longed to make her own with a matching set of earrings that never materialized. Dubbed the Swan Lake necklace, it became infamous as the last jewel she wore publicly before her death just 2 months later. Its fame soared in the auction world, fetching a staggering $12 million, a testament to its poignant place in her story. Finally, the Sri Lankan sapphire, a gift from Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother, dazzles with its sheer audacity. This massive sapphire, about the size of a duck's egg, was framed by 2 rows of diamonds, originally crafted as a brooch. Diana, ever the innovator, turned it into a necklace centerpiece, suspending it from 7 strands of pearls that married her Spencer family heritage with royal tradition. She wore it with sapphire earrings and a midnight blue velvet gown during a November 1985 visit to the White House, where she twirled across the dance floor with John Travolta. President Reagan later reminisced about that night, noting how Diana's glow outshone even the star-studded crowd, making it a memory etched in time. Sixth is the Art Deco emerald and diamond choker, a treasure with roots in 1911, when it was gifted to Queen Mary by the ladies of India. Lent to Diana by Queen Elizabeth II after her wedding, she made it her own in 1985 during an Australian tour. Wearing it as a headband with a green one-shoulder gown, she turned tradition on its head, her playful style inspiring a generation. Fifth are her pearls, symbols of her growing independence. In 1991, on a solo Pakistan tour, she chose oversized pearl drop earrings from the Emir of Qatar, drawing eyes to her expressive face. She also wore Collingwood pearls from the Spencer family, often with the lover's knot tiara or the Queen's King Faisal necklace. After separating from Charles in 1993, her multi-strand pearl chokers echoed Princess Alexandra's elegance, igniting the new romantic trend. Fourth, the Burmese sapphire suite from Saudi Arabia's crown prince included earrings, a bracelet, a watch, a ring, and a pendant. Diana reworked it into a velvet band choker, wearing it with confidence, like at a 1996 U.S. charity event in Versace, showcasing her bold individuality. From the Sultan of Oman in 1986, she received a crescent moon-inspired suite. Unveiled in Germany a year later with a velvet dress and the Spencer tiara, it shone despite her marital struggles, blending modern design with timeless grace. Second is the Spencer tiara, a family heirloom from 1875, refined by Gerard in 1937. Diana wore it often, including at the 1984 state opening of Parliament, where her glamour briefly overshadowed the Queen. Topping the list is the Lover's Knot tiara, a 1914 Gerard creation gifted by Queen Elizabeth II. Initially worn traditionally, it stunned in 1989 Hong Kong with a pearl-encrusted Elvis dress, proving Diana's flair for the unexpected. From Kensington Palace, Diana emerged as the people's princess, her youthful radiance and grand jewels reviving royal glamour. She shone naturally, her legacy a blend of strength and sweetness that still captivates the world. As Diana's journey unfolded beyond the fairy tale wedding and the early years of royal duty, her transformation into a global style icon became undeniable. The shy young bride who once stood nervously beside Prince Charles blossomed into a woman of remarkable poise, wielding her jewelry not just as adornment, but as a powerful tool of self-expression. With every glittering gem and every daring fashion choice, she carved out a space that was distinctly her own, defying the rigid expectations of the monarchy and captivating the world with her audacity. The pieces she wore in this later chapter of her life, from historic heirlooms to gifts from foreign dignitaries, tell a story of resilience, individuality, and an unwavering connection to the people who adored her. Let's dive deeper into the treasures that defined this evolution and explore how they cemented her legacy as the people's princess. Kicking off this list at number 6 is the Art Deco Emerald and Diamond Choker, a masterpiece with a lineage stretching back to 1911. Originally presented to Queen Mary by the ladies of India as a tribute to her regal stature, this breathtaking piece, featuring vivid green emeralds nestled among twinkling diamonds, was passed down through the royal family until it landed in Diana's hands. Queen Elizabeth II offered it to her as a lifetime loan shortly after her 1981 wedding, a gesture of welcome into the fold. But Diana, ever the innovator, didn't settle for wearing it conventionally around her neck. During a 1985 tour of Australia, she turned heads by slipping it over her forehead as a headband, pairing it with a striking green one-shoulder gown that hugged her frame like a second skin. The effect was electrifying. Photographs of her dancing with Charles in Melbourne that night splashed across newspapers worldwide, cementing her status as a fashion trailblazer. This wasn't just jewelry. It was a statement of playful irreverence, a signal that she could honor tradition while bending it to her will. That single act rippled through the 1980s, inspiring women everywhere to rethink how they wore their own accessories, proving that Diana's influence stretched far beyond palace walls. Fifth on our list are the pearls that became synonymous with Diana's growing independence and emotional depth. By 1991, her marriage to Charles was fraying, and she embarked on a solo tour of Pakistan, a bold move that showcased her strength as a figure in her own right. For this trip, she selected a pair of oversized pearl drop earrings, a wedding gift from the Emir of Qatar. These weren't subtle baubles. They were dramatic, dangling orbs that drew every eye to her face, framing her wistful expressions as she navigated her increasingly public loneliness. She'd worn them before, but in Pakistan, they took on new meaning, whispering of a woman stepping into her own spotlight. Diana also cherished another pair of pearl earrings, crafted by the Spencer family jeweler, Collingwood, a nod to her roots. These she often paired with the lover's knot tiara or the King Faisal diamond necklace, loaned by the Queen for grand occasions. But it was after her 1992 separation from Charles that her love for pearls truly shone. At a 1993 English National Ballet performance in London, she draped herself in multi-strand pearl chokers, a style reminiscent of Queen Alexandra, a former princess of Wales known for her elegance. This wasn't mere adornment. It was a deliberate echo of history, a way to assert her royal status while forging a new path. Those chokers, with their soft luster and intricate layers, sparked a fashion revolution dubbed the New Romantic trend, blending high collars, frills, and a dreamy softness that swept through the early 90s. Diana didn't just wear pearls. She made them a symbol of her reinvention. Fourth is the Burmese Sapphire Suite, an opulent wedding gift from the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia that arrived in 1981 as a testament to Diana's growing stature on the world stage. This lavish set included a ring, earrings, a bracelet, a watch, and a massive pendant, all centered around deep blue sapphires that gleamed like twilight skies, accented by diamonds that caught the light with every move. Diana, never one to let a gift sit idly, reimagined the pendant as the heart of a choker, mounting it on a plush velvet band that hugged her neck. She wore this creation with stunning confidence, most memorably during a 1996 visit to the United States for a charity event. Dressed in a sleek Versace gown that shimmered under the lights, she radiated a quiet power, a woman no longer defined by her title, but by her presence. The suite's versatility shone as she mixed and matched its pieces, sometimes wearing the earrings as a headband or the watch as a subtle accent. It was a collection she adored, one that helped her transition from a nervous young princess to a self-assured global ambassador, bringing a youthful freshness to the grandeur of fine jewelry that England hadn't seen in decades. Next, we travel to 1986, when Diana and Charles toured Qatar and Oman, visiting the Sultan of Oman in his sprawling palace. The Sultan, a man of refined tastes masked by a traditional demeanor, knew how to charm his guests. He presented Diana with a suite of jewels so remarkable that Buckingham Palace initially denied its existence, wary of the optics of such extravagance. But the gift was real, a modern masterpiece inspired by the crescent moon, a symbol of the Islamic faith, featuring a necklace, bracelet, and earrings set with diamonds and sapphires in a design that felt both contemporary and timeless. Diana was enchanted, and a year later, during a 1987 tour of Germany, she unveiled these treasures to the world. She paired them with the same midnight blue velvet dress she'd worn to dance with John Travolta at the White House, her hair swept up to showcase the Spencer tiara. Even as her marriage buckled under mounting strain, she stood tall, using these jewels to project strength and grace while representing Britain abroad. The Omani suite was more than a gift. It was a badge of her resilience, a glittering reminder that she could shine even in the darkest moments. Second on our list is the Spencer tiara, a family heirloom that carried the weight of Diana's heritage. Its origins trace back to 1875, when Cynthia, Countess Montague, received its central element as a wedding gift. By 1937, Gerard had added 4 matching pieces, crafting the delicate, floral tiara we know today. Diana wore it frequently after her wedding, choosing it over royal alternatives like the Lover's Knot tiara for banquets, state dinners, and overseas tours. One unforgettable moment came in 1984 at the state opening of Parliament, where she arrived with her hair piled high beneath the tiara's sparkling arches, accompanying the Queen and Charles in a sea of pomp and ceremony. Critics whispered that she'd upstaged the Queen, the true star of the occasion, but Diana's radiance was impossible to dim. It wasn't just a crown, it was a piece of her identity, a link to the Spencer lineage she carried with pride through every chapter of her life. Topping our list is the Lover's Knot tiara, a wedding gift from Queen Elizabeth II that embodied both tradition and Diana's flair for the unexpected. Crafted by Gerard in 1914 to Queen Mary's design, it drew inspiration from the Grand Duchess Vladimir's tiara, with its elegant loops and dangling pearls. Early on, Diana wore it conventionally, state occasions, foreign tours, the kinds of events where such grandeur was expected. But in 1989, during a visit to Hong Kong, she redefined it entirely. Pairing it with a white, pearl-encrusted Elvis dress and jacket by Catherine Walker, she turned a formal piece into a bold fashion statement. The dress, with its high collar and shimmering beads, was a nod to Presley's flamboyance. Yet Diana made it regal, the tiara glinting atop her head like a crown of stars. That night, she didn't just wear jewelry. She delivered a moment of pure, breathtaking surprise, proving her knack for blending the classic with the daring. Diana's story found its heart at Kensington Palace, her London home and the launchpad for countless appearances as the People's Princess. From there, she brought a glamour to the royal family that hadn't been seen in generations, her youthful energy breathing life into ancient jewels. She didn't need diamonds to shine. Her warmth, her compassion, her unyielding spirit made her radiant. Yet when she wore them, she did so with a freshness that captivated the world, leaving a legacy of strength, sweetness, and style that endures to this day. Her image, etched in history as a princess who shone from within, remains a beacon of inspiration, a reminder that true brilliance comes not from jewels, but from the light one carries inside.